So, hi. Um, we are back again to continue with our grieving series. It's been a minute, but it was not for lack of content, just been a bit busy. I thought, having just celebrated 1 year since I lost my brother, which was particularly hard, really hard, I thought that we should have this conversation again, or we should continue with the conversation. So, we celebrated his first year anniversary um, on 12th of September. Uh, wow, it was tough. It was tough because I was wondering, do I want to mention this to my mother that the anniversary is just around the corner? Was it gonna make things awkward between us? Um, was I supposed to feel a certain way or act a certain way? But these things cannot be predicted. They just happen. Um, so I found that out on the actual morning. Ironically, I got that call that he passed on at exactly 3 a.m. in the morning of September 12th last year. And this year, on the same morning, I woke up at exactly 3. No alarms, no nothing. Just woke up like I was having a nightmare. And I found myself folding clothes. The same thing I was doing last year when I got the call. Not intentionally, because it actually hit me. I was doing the same thing while I was actually folding the clothes. And it hit me that that's what I was doing last year. Oh, the emotions they were seriously bad. That is the only way I can put it. They were bad. In my head, the whole scenario replayed. Oh, I had that call all over again. The disbelief that what I was hearing was true. I felt the same way. And I started bawling. I cried, and at the same time, I am trying to contain myself that I don't wake up my daughter who was sleeping just next to where I was folding my clothes. And I could not contain myself. Some things are just so hard to deal with. Really, really hard. And I decided to go online and just write something about commemorating Maura. And the minute I switched on my net, the first message I got was from my mother. Ah, another heartbreak. She was there reminding me that this was the day, and that she's been up crying. The same time I was up crying. And I had to find a way to be strong for her, to encourage her. How do you encourage someone else where you also need encouragement? I think that's a really tough thing to do. You do not have the right words. You keep trying to quote Bible verses that are not popping up, and if they are popping up, you have like snatches of what you've read in the Bible, and you want to write that down and just encourage them. But at the same time, you're questioning whether they are encouraging you enough for you to encourage someone with them. Does that even make any sense? Uh, but that is how I felt. That whole day was a mess for me. I couldn't stop crying. Um, I remember my mother calling me and she's like, Nito the town. And I knew she just needed to get out of the house. I was to get to work in the evening. I was night shifting and had woken up at 3. So I was tired. My eyes were just red. I felt like I just needed to get back to bed and sleep. It almost felt like depression. You know, that heavy feeling in your heart where you just want to go back to bed. But at the same time, you know, when you go back to bed, it won't be better. But I forced myself. I decided, don't necessarily need this sleep. She needs me. So we went and we went shopping. And I think it helped because we kept ourselves busy. And that is how the day ended for me. We shopped until it was time for me to go to work. So I came back, showered, and got ready for work. And at the end of the day, it was easier. I won't say it is gone, but it was easier because we found something else to do. And I feel like if you and your loved ones are in mourning, if by any chance you have something extracurricular to do on that specific day that reminds you of who you're mourning for, do it. Do it. It takes your mind away from the actual thing. It doesn't erase it, but it makes it feel a bit better. I would like to hear other people's opinions. Like, how do you deal with your grief? Even years after, because grief is still grief. It doesn't matter whether that person uh, passed on a year or 2 years or 10 years ago. You still feel the same thing. How do you deal with your grief? How has it helped you? Share with us and see, let us see how we can support someone else. I felt like I was assisted by shopping. Not necessarily for everyone, but it did help because it made the day end a bit faster and we didn't have to think so much about it. In as much as it was still at the back of our minds, we it wasn't at the forefront where it was just plaguing us and making us just keep bowling through the whole day. So I thank God that we got through that day, my mother and I. I sometimes envy people who have more siblings because I feel like it's a bit easier because you can talk to them about these things or you can console each other because in a family there is always that one person that is stronger than the rest or they look like they are stronger than the rest, but maybe they also feed off the energy of these other people so that they can be stronger for them. How do you deal with your grief? Let me know at the comment section. Thank you.